taking away ID for voting makes zero sense. First of all, the idea that it's racist. Are you saying that some races are bad at getting IDs? Like, what are you saying? Like, shouldn't you just make it easier for them to get IDs than make it so that no one needs an ID?
That's a good point.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, you'd have to be suspicious that they're allowing a massive amount of illegal immigrants into this country constantly, daily, and you're supposing that those people are going to vote on your side if they don't need IDs to vote. I mean, that's the suspicion, right?
Yeah, you get a couple million here. And then in 2024, like if you think about issues to run on, right? You go, Trump ran on 2016 on what? Build a wall. All these, they're sending their worst, they're rapists, they're raping our women. Okay, and then he went after a couple different people. Obama ran on, freedom or forward or whatever, the dream. Okay, Carter ran on human rights. Everybody runs on something. If they run on dreamers, let's legalize the dreamers that are here. Again, you got to give the Dems credit. Leave the border open. Let them come in. 2024, we convert these guys to voters. We just got 2 million new voters.
Right.
Say 90% vote our side. Say 80% vote our sides. I think the Hispanic vote is 64% Democratic right now. 36 is either independent or, Republican. African American is still between 88 to 94%. 88 to 94% votes Democratic. Okay. So if they can convert that, that's another edge for them. But for me, the voter fraud thing, if you're hesitant to want to check IDs, it's like a parent talking to their kid. So where were you last night? What time did you come home? Oh, Dad, I had something happen. Had a flat tire. Oh, you did? Yeah. Who changed it? Oh, my friend changed it. With which tire? I've had flat tires before, right? And you kind of watching your son bullshit, and you're like, I was 14 before, guy.
Yeah.
I'm 16. I know what you're doing. I'm not a dummy. So when the government does stuff like that, the people that are sitting there paranoid, they're like, why would you have a problem with this? The level of hypocrisy hurts them. So the climate change argument, for example, well, we have to be worried about the future of our kids. What about this? Nothing is more important, Joe, than white supremacists and climate change. Nothing. And you're like, really? White supremacists? Yeah. Climate change is dangerous. You see what's going to happen. You saw Greta Thunberg. I don't know if you saw that video.
Well, she said we have to protect the banks.
Did you see her doing the fake, like she's like, how dare you?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, she's just doing this thing.
Well, she's a kid.
Yeah. But again, she fooled a lot of people, though. Man, girl's got 6 million followers on Twitter.
Is that fooling people? Not really.
She's a useful idiot, though. I mean,
she's a young lady with idealistic ideas, and she's being used. She's a it doesn't make any sense that she's somehow a spokesperson for climate change. It's bizarre, and it's an influencer. It's the same reason why Dylan Mulvaney interviewed Biden when he had been a woman for 320 days or whatever the fuck it was.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah. That's the same thing. It's like you're using influencers in this very bizarre way.
But Dylan likes girls.
Yes.
That's called being straight.
Yeah, it's called autogynephilia.
And you just wear a Halloween costume.
Yeah, it's woman face. You put it on woman face. It's very strange. It's appropriation, and a lot of women feel very upset about it.
How do you feel yourself with this whole thing? I was having a wonderful, peaceful conversation with this guy named Anthony Weiner. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy or not.
Yeah.
He's a very interesting
I saw
guy.
that podcast.
Yeah. So. And I ask him a question where I say, so let me ask you, how good are you at giving blowjobs? And he looks at me like, what kind of a freaking question is that? He says, I'm sorry? And I said, yeah, how good are you at giving it? He says, no. I said, when you were 11 years old, did anybody teach you how to give one? No. Why would they teach me that? That's what they're teaching in schools right now in many different places. Oh, they're not doing that. There's no way they're doing that.
There are books that do show that, yeah.
There are books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if a person wants to sell that book at Barnes & Noble, go for it. If a person wants to sell that book on Amazon, go for it. But what do you think about parents that are protesting all over the place, where in some districts, these guys are saying, no, this is recommended reading by the teacher, and it's normal, it's okay, you should learn about this at an early age. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's very clear that there are certain teachers that have an agenda. and that their agenda is to indoctrinate children into this LBGT mindset, and that this is not just cherished but celebrated. And, if you're talking to someone who is a gay kid, great. That's great. If you want to tell them that it's okay to be gay and, you should be your true self, great. That's terrific. What my concern with is that a lot of what we're seeing with, like, New Jersey had an uptick in kids identifying as non-binary by 4,000%. Like, it's not natural. These are not normal numbers. And I think children are very malleable. They're very impressionable. And if you reward them for certain kinds of behavior, if they are praised and cherished for certain types of behavior, I think they'll be encouraged to do that. And I think you're seeing with a lot of these detransitioners that a lot of these kids got encouraged early and got put on hormone blockers and hormones and got mastectomies and got castrated, and now they have deep regret. And people don't want to acknowledge that, and they attack those people. They attack those detransitioners.